Hey everybody, it's GombletX and welcome back to some more Magic Arena. Today I'm going to be playing a premiere draft of Streets of New Capenna with Alchemy added. That means every single pack in this draft will contain one card from the 30 Alchemy cards in the format. As you can see here, Celestial Vault is one of those Alchemy cards and it's incredibly powerful. It is going to be my pick one pack one here. This is 2 mana for an artifact that you can spend 1 white mana, tap it, and draft a card from its spellbook and exile it face down. The way that works is you choose out of 3 random cards from the spellbook, you choose one of them to put under this. The Celestial Vault spellbook is absolutely insane, and that's what makes this card very powerful. Angel of Destiny, Resplendent Angel, Angel of Vitality, Righteous Valkyrie, a bunch of really good angels, several mythics, several rares. It's very, very unlikely that you draft weak cards under this card's spellbook, so Celestial Vault's just insane. It's a little bit slow, sure, you're going to play it on turn 2, then draft a few cards off of it turn 3, 4, 5, but then on turn 6, just pop it and start casting 5 mana mythic rare angels. It's very, very hard to beat. So here we are in pick 2, nothing white to go with the Celestial Vault. The best cards in this pack are probably like Pugnacious Pugilist, Jewel Thief, Spar's Adjudicators is quite solid, some good mana fixing. Endless Detour is okay, but it's kind of just like a more hard to cast run out of town in this format. That's 3 and a blue to do pretty much the same thing. So Endless Detour is not a card I would take super highly, and Patch Up's cool once you get a lot of Jewel Thieves and Inspiring Overseers and stuff, but not something I would start the draft off with. I think I'm going to scoop up a Jewel Thief here to go white-green potentially. I think it's just probably the strongest card in the pack, but we could take Loose in the Park, but I have played around with this card before. It's just okay, but it is a new Alchemy card, so we could take it just to play around with it anyway. But then we are setting a pretty big green signal, not sending a Jewel Thief down, but I guess it doesn't matter too much. It's only 1 green card in the pack. You know what? You should take Jewel Thief in that pack if you're just trying to win, but I'm also trying to cast some Alchemy cards, so we'll grab Loose in the Park. This is a weird card, definitely a much worse spellbook card than Celestial Vault. It's 2 mana to draw a card and enchant a land, and the land for 3 mana turns into one of these random creatures, a lot of like 4/4s mainly. So 3 mana, turn your land into a 4/4. It's like, okay. Definitely doesn't feel like a rare. I'm surprised this one's not an uncommon. Now that we're in pick 3 here, we get to take another really solid white card. The Citizen's Crowbar here is a great 2-drop. Just a 2 mana 2/2 for 2. And it is main deck artifact and enchantment removal. If your opponent plays something like Broker's Ascendancy or the Alchemy version of it, the Arming Gala is a 5 mana version of Broker's Ascendancy that gives every creature in your whole deck +1/+1 every end step. So yeah, it's nice to have some main deck artifact enchantment hate, and that'll do it. And as much as I like trying to play the Alchemy cards, I'm not going to go 4 color to do it. Alright, ooh, this one is actually a very good Alchemy card, Menagerie Curator. This is 2 mana for a 1/3 that taps for a mana of any color, only spent on creature spells. But that's already pretty good, and whenever you cast a creature spell that doesn't share a creature type with a creature card in your library, you get to draw a card. So this is very, very good if you have a deck full of like random creature types. Now, in this format, there are a lot of overlapping creature types like humans, warriors, citizens, card types like that. You're always going to have an extra copy in your deck, but this actually synergizes weirdly enough with our Celestial Vault. If we don't end up picking up any Inspiring Overseers, then we're not likely to have any angels in our deck, so if we cast anything off the Celestial Vault, we'll draw a card off of them. So I don't know, Curator's a cool card, and I think it's solid, even if it doesn't draw you a card that often. Because again, the creature types really overlap in this format. As you can see, citizens here, this one's a soldier, this is a human and a druid, 2 creature types that'll overlap. Out of this pack, I think we just take another premium 2-drop creature, Venom Connoisseur, 2 mana 2/2, gets Death Touch as an alliance trigger. If you have 2 creatures out of the battlefield, your whole field gains Death Touch, which is pretty cool. Just a nice 2 mana 2/2 for 2. Definitely want to fill out your 2-drop slot in this format, whether you're aggressive or not, because if you're the aggressive deck, you want to get the ball rolling, and if you're not the aggressive deck, you need to survive against the aggressive decks. So Rox Pummeler is probably my second favorite card out of this pack, but I'm going to take the cheap cards before I start taking the expensive late game spells. This pack looks like a pretty easy Voice of the Vermin. It's just a solid card, 4 mana for a 2/2 with a shield counter that turns into a 4/4 while attacking. Nice little beat stick. Nothing very good here. Since we're kind of going down green-white, we can take the Rakish Revelers as a potential mana-fixing creature. If we go green-white-red, now we've got a Rocks Pummeler, not a bad way to top off your curve. Happy to scoop that up there. Big old Trampler with a shield counter on it. Crooked Custodian and Run Out of Town are pretty solid. Angelic Overseers, or Angelic Observers is not, you need a lot of citizens for that to be worth it. Guess we have 3 already. But it's probably more likely that we end up in Brokers and wanting to play Run Out of Town than that we end up wanting to play that, to be honest. Scoop up a patch up in case we get a ton of great 3 mana or less creatures. Alright, well I like the curve here. White was pretty hard cut though. Our first 2 picks were white cards and then no pick for the rest of the draft. At least green looks open enough to have a stable like core to the deck here, just being a bunch of green cards. And we're going to get a bunch of unplayable stuff at the end, as you usually do. Antagonize is an okay combat trick, but I don't think I'll end up playing that. If I go 3 color, maybe if I get pushed into green-red I would, but I'd really prefer not to get pushed into green-red. Not a color pair that has been paying off particularly well. Revelation of Power is actually an okay combat trick with Rocks Pummeler type creatures that are like big and have a shield counter, like Voice of the Vermin as well. Make it a 6/6 flying lifelink for a turn. Can really swing a game. With Rocks Pummeler, you're making it an 8 power flying lifelinker. Ooh, sweet alchemy card here, Bank Job, that just guarantees you draw an extra creature every turn. You do have to cast it the turn you draw it, though. If you don't, you still get a treasure token out of it, though. Bank Job is an incredible card if you're in black-red. That being said, we're not really in black-red, and we see the best white card in the set, or at least one of them, Inspiring Overseer, so we're just going to scoop that up. And then if the Overseer weren't in here, Riveteer's Decoy would be a solid pickup as well. But pretty easy Inspiring Overseer there. The only issue with it is that now our Menagerie Curator is not going to synergize as well with Celestial Vault, but that's okay. It still ramps into our big creatures, still mana fixes us if we splash big creatures. Still does some work. Just waiting on our next pack here. I love how the packs show up as Theros Beyond Death packs because they just don't have a picture for Streets of New Capenna Alchemy limited packs. It's like, oh, whatever, it's Theros packs. We're drafting Theros. Welcome back to Theros Premier Draft number 20 or something. So we have a really cool alchemy card here, Giant Regrowth, but it is very slow. I haven't been a massive fan of this, but when played at the right time, it can be insane. Say you pick up an Inspiring Overseer from a grave, now your Inspiring Overseer is a 3-mana 4/3 flyer, which is just nuts. That being said, I don't think Giant Regrowth is actually super powerful because it's a little bit narrow, a little specific when it's going to be good, whereas Jewel Thief is just phenomenal all the time. I think I just scoop up Jewel Thief here. And then we're hoping to wheel Giant Regrowth, Ceremonial Groundbreaker, Botanical Plaza, or Civic Gardener. All of those would be awesome, and then Killshot would just be like, okay. Yeah, now we have the 2 best common 3-mana creatures in the format, and 1 Inspiring Overseer, 1 Jewel Thief. Let's go. Pick 3 now, another Jewel Thief. Get in the deck, I think. Could take a Broker's Hideout, but if we're just 2 colors, we don't need mana fixing that badly. Another Jewel Thief is definitely going to be great stuff for us. Curve's starting to look pretty good now. Do need to move these non-creature spells over because they're not going to be attacking and blocking, so this is our actual creature curve, is like that. Jewel Thieves are like a really great power and toughness for the mana cost, so they can lend themselves really well to aggressive strategies. So I think I'd like to up my true drops to like 6 or 7 of them, so we can really just get the ball rolling. Just a 2-mana 2/2 into a 3-mana Jewel Thief sometimes, and really pop off, kill our opponent really quickly. So I think that's something I'm going to stay pretty focused on here. Try to grab the great 2-drop creatures if we see them, and Civil Servant is a beautiful one. 2 mana for a 2/3, potentially getting lifelink if you have citizens out. We've got a few citizens. We've got Citizen's Crowbar, Menagerie Curator, Voice of the Vermin. Definitely want some more citizens to go with the Civil Servant, but the card is phenomenal, and I'm happy to have it in the 2-drop slot. Backup Agent's another super sweet 2-drop. I will take it over the Courier's Briefcase. I was much more excited about the Courier's Briefcase earlier in the format when it hadn't really stabilized into what it is now, where it is just a bunch of aggressive 2-color strategies splashing into their 3-color spells. Courier's Briefcase looked really good early in the format when we were like, oh, it's a 3-color format, so everybody's going to be playing full-on 3-color decks. In Courier's Briefcase, you only need a couple treasures and a 3-color deck to make it to the 5 colors to draw 3. I thought it was going to be like the new Path of the World tree from Call Time, but really didn't pan out that way. It's just very medium. So now we've got a Quick Draw Dagger, which would be an okay combat trick here. That's kind of it. I guess we could take a Skybridge Towers if we want to be splashing in some blue, potentially. Or a Rooftop Nuisance. Yeah, it's Skybridge Towers or Quick Draw Dagger here, I think. We've got a pretty good creature count. Lots of 2s. Good amount of 3s. I think Quick Draw Dagger can put in some work here. And now the packs are going to start getting pretty empty. Broker's Initiate does work with Civil Servant, but it's also not doing much else in the deck. Same with Cabaret Initiate. But nothing in this pack really does much. I guess Shattered Seraph we could... No, we're not playing white-blue here, so it does not manifest for itself in a green-white deck because we need blue and black, so... Alright, I'll slam a Broker's Initiate in here for now. Ooh, easy Botanical Plaza. Well, I don't know if I'd say easy, because Speakeasy Server is solid. Like a medium-sized flyer is good in the format. Evasive creatures play pretty well, and we can have a lot of creatures out to gain some life off of this, but I think I'm just taking Botanical Plaza anyway. Perfect dual land for our green-white deck. And if we're low on removal, we can end up playing a Buy or Silence. It's not ideal because it's pretty slow, pretty expensive, but we can end up playing it if we need it. Alright, now that we took a Botanical Plaza, it actually lets us take this Civic Gardener a little more highly, so I'm going to take it over Botanical Plaza. This is a pretty great 2-drop. It works really well as Civil Servant. It's really good on turn 3. You can attack with this and cast 2 of your 2-mana cards that turn. Spar's Adjudicators is awesome. Even if we're just green-white, it can still help our mana base, and it can cast itself on turn 5. Things are looking pretty awesome here. Warm Welcome is actually pretty nice with Civil Servant as well. It's a 3-mana citizen we can play. Actually, we will put that on the 3-drop slot on the curve. Yeah, this looks pretty good. We still have a pack to flesh this deck out, and we've currently got 18 playables and a land. Ooh, and we opened an on-color alchemy card that I don't think I've ever read before. A 5-mana 4/5 flyer. When it enters the battlefield, destroy each permanent you don't control that has the same name as a permanent that dealt damage to you last turn. Oh my god. A 5-mana 4/5 with a very big upside where it might just one-sided wrath your opponent? Don't mind if I do. If that weren't in this pack, Citizen's Crowbar is pretty great. Awesome 2-drop with our Civil Servant and another main deck artifact and enchantment removal. I would probably take that over Rafine's Informant, but it is pretty close. Those are both excellent 2-drops, but this is an easy Herald of Vengeance. That card seems like a sick alchemy card for our deck. Now we've got Hold for Ransom, another Citizen's Crowbar for the family. As a solid combat trick, those are the 3 cards that really stand out here. It's got to be Hold for Ransom or Citizen's Crowbar here. Depending on how early do I want to go with this deck? Do I want to just have a million 2-drops? Really feel like I do, and having another Citizen feels pretty nice. But we don't really have any cheap pseudo removal at all yet, so I don't know. We probably are supposed to go Hold for Ransom, but I would love another Crowbar. Alright, well, we get another 2-drop here with Backup Agent. This is a phenomenal one with Civil Servant because you're putting a counter on the Servant, making that attack even bigger, which is awesome. We could try to splash a Psychic Pickpocket because this card is obnoxious, but I think I like sticking to just the green-white deck here. Could also take a Mana Fixer. Call Die a Strongarm wouldn't be terrible either. But I'm going to go Backup Agent. I do like that card a lot. Now we can try out a Giant Regrowth or another Voice of the Vermin. Again, I do think Giant Regrowth is pretty slow, but it's great with all our 2-mana creatures. Like, bring them back to hand makes them just a really cheap, like, 4/4 or 5/5. So maybe I just didn't play this in the right kind of decks before. In a deck that has a million 2-mana creatures like this one, we're going to be trading off creatures a lot, have a lot of stuff in there. That being said, Voice of the Vermin, I just know Voice of the Vermin's good. I know Voice of the Vermin's awesome. But when in Alchemy, let's play with the Alchemy cards. Pick up a Giant Regrowth there. Swooping Protector would be fine. Rock's Pummeler would be fine. That's about it here. Don't think we're playing a Boon of Safety. The way our curve's looking, we could use another just big boy. Get another Rock's Pummeler in here. Another backup agent. Sure, just give me all the 2-mana creatures. Civil Servant? Yeah, get in here. 22 mana creatures in the deck. Let's go. Social Climbers, like, okay, we have better 3-mana stuff to do. Inspiring Overseer, Dual Thieves, and Warm Welcome are all better than that. And Gathering Throng, it's pack 3, pick 8. It's too late to jump on the Gathering Throng chain, so I'll take a prize fight here that I'm probably not playing. Riveteer's Decoy is nice that wheeled, because this is it's a 2-mana 3-1 if you don't have anything else to do turn 2, but it's also just like a 4-mana removal spell. Like turn 4 you play this and this is going to trade into one of their creatures and draw you a card. So it's nice at turn 4 on the curve. Alright, this deck looks like it could pop off here. This is going to be awesome. We're probably even just cutting Venom Connoisseurs so that every 2-mana creature we have is a citizen, so the Civil Servants that we have really pop off. And now I'm even just going to draft gems. I'm just going to take Evolving Door. I actually might not even have a playset yet. I don't even have a single copy, so we're just rare drafting Evolving Door. Even though it's not good, because I'm not going to play anything else in there. I'm not going to play double Quick Draw Dagger. We're already running out of room for non-creature stuff here. We're at the point where we're just cutting cards out of the deck, so unless there's something that we see that's a lot better than the stuff we currently have in deck, it's just not going to happen. We're just going to rare draft the highest rarity card for Vault Progress. I keep missing. I kept trying to pick it up. I couldn't. I just kept clicking the air around the brass knuckles there. The Digital Air. These are both commons, so whatever. If you ever want to see how many cards you own while you're drafting, just hold down the Alt key on PC. That's how I check to see how many Evolving Doors I had. As you can see, if you have 4, it just gives you a little check mark. Okay, so we only have to cut like 3 cards out of this deck, and it's probably going to be mostly non-creatures because we're trying to be really aggressive with this mountain of 2-mana creatures. Trying to just really get the ball rolling here. Yeah, 16 creatures, so we're not cutting a single creature, because we want our Warm Welcome to pop off here, and we want to have a lot of creatures. So even though Warm Welcome and Citizen's Crowbar both sort of count as a creature, that's okay. We have like an 18 creature very aggressive deck. Very aggressive deck. So let's get rid of maybe Revelation of Power. Maybe Quick Draw Dagger. Maybe we just don't play the tricks. But with as many creatures as we have attacking all the time, we're almost definitely supposed to play the tricks, so maybe we're not playing Buyer Silence because it's just slow and our deck's pretty fast. Go for the Quick Draw Dagger over it, or do we go for Revelation of Power? Or do we go for both and go for 16 lands, because our curve should be low with all these 2-drops? Average is 3, because we do have 6 mana stuff going on here still. If we cut our 5-drop, average pops down to 2.9. I don't know, I feel this mountain of 2-mana stuff makes it feel like we can really go for a 16-land deck here. So I kind of want to just keep the Revelation of Power, drop double Island, and add 1 green or white source, depending on if green or white is bigger. Looks like more green than white, so add 1 green source, call it a day. I mean, if anything was going to get cut to turn into the 17-land version, we just cut Adjudicators. And then we're just pure green-white, 17-land deck here. Which would be fine, because we do have 2 6-mana cards, a really good 5-mana card. We have a Celestial Vault that's going to make us want to have like 5 mana so we can cast these big 5-mana Mythic Rare Angels. 6-mana Angels, potentially. Yeah, cards like Celestial Vault do want us to have a higher land count. Also, Loosen the Park, where we want the extra mana to where we have enough lands to cast everything that we want, plus the extra mana to start turning one of our lands into a creature. if we need it. So yeah, our alchemy cards actually do lend themselves to high land count decks. So let's just cut Adjudicators here and go for the 17 still. Just go for an even split. And I think that'll be the deck. Alright, so here we have a final look at this deck. This looks like it's going to be really fun to play. We have just a mountain of 2-mana creatures, so we're always going to get the ball rolling, every single one of them, except for Riveteer's Decoy, which is kind of a 4-mana blitz card. Is a citizen for Civil Servant, so that should be awesome. Civil Servant's really good with a backup agent alongside it to be attacking as a gigantic 4/4 lifelinker, so that's awesome. Our 3-drop creatures are really good. 1 Inspiring Overseer, 2 Jewel Thief. Pretty great. And then our big creatures are Voice of the Vermin, Herald of Vengeance, which seems like an obnoxiously good alchemy card, and Double Rocks Pummeler to really finish off the game. In the early game, we're going to use these cheap creatures with 2 combat tricks, Quick Draw Dagger, and Revelation of Power to keep the board clear and just keep slamming into our opponent. Then obviously try to finish the game off with those late game bombs if we run out of gas. So deck looks pretty fun, looks pretty sweet. We've even got some more alchemy cards in the non-creatures. We've got the Celestial Vault that can just draft us an army of angels. This card is bonkers, and Loose in the Park's definitely less good, but it's fun and weird, and I've named the deck around it, so we'll be playing around with it. And as you can see, we've even beautified the deck with the beautiful Kamigawa Neon Dynasty full arts. The artwork is just astounding on these. Alright, here we go now. We are in game 1. We've got Backup Agent into Jewel Thief into Herald of Vengeance. I think I'll keep this hand. We've got 2 white sources, 2 green sources. I thought it would be funny to use these lands, but I'm noticing that they're very hard to see at a glance what colors they are, so I might swap them out after this game just for the ease of viewership. That might be a bit of annoying for you all, I'm sorry. I just thought it was funny that is a glitch that's going on right now. If I weren't recording, I would use nothing but these lands as long as this glitch persists. So we'll go for a Citizen's Crowbar on turn 2 here rather than the Backup Agent. It's very similar to Backup Agent. If we cast Backup Agent on 2, it's a 1/1 with a +1/+1 counter on it. This is a 1/1 with a +1/+1 equipment on it. Wow, unfortunately we are against the Nuts Curve Brokers deck, so we could have a pretty hard time here, even with our Herald of Vengeance coming down soon. But let's just get a Jewel Thief down, pass the turn. But our opponent went turn 2 Rafine's Informant as a 2-mana 3/2 into turn 3 Celestial Regulator as a 2/3 that tapped and locked down our Citizen. And they are a Broker's deck here. They naturally hit Forest, Island, and Plains there. So I think we just curve out here and get a ridiculously good deal off Herald of Vengeance. 5-mana 4/5, blow up 2 of their creatures. Seems good enough to me. I don't want to get too greedy with it and just hold on to it when I can use it to really put the board state in our favor here. Maybe if it didn't come with a creature, I would try to get more greedy with it, but the fact that it comes with a 4/5 flyer, pretty sure we just jam in here. Now we can Backup Agent, so all of our creatures are big enough to attack into the Civil Servant, even if we don't use our combat trick. But I'll hold off on another spell until after combat, just in case we do need to cast our Revelation of Power. And if we don't need to cast it, we can drop down another Backup Agent or something here. So our opponent's going to Metamorphosis the Civil Servant, make it a 4/4, so we will go ahead and just Revelation of Power to beat that. Knock our opponent down to 10. And there's the concession from our opponent. They're stuck on 3 mana there, and the Alchemy card very quickly completely reversed the board state. Our opponent had the really nice start to their curve, Informant into Regulator into Civil Servant, and we were just like, no, we'll just kill 2 of your creatures and get a 4/5 out at the same time. And thanks to our Jewel Thief, we even did that on turn 4. So that was a brutal game there. 1-0. Alright, here we are now in game 2. We only have 2 mana here. We do need to hit a 3rd for Jewel Thief, but most of our deck is 2 mana spells, so as you can see, we can still cast a lot of stuff here, so I'm definitely going to keep it. We're just hoping to draw a 3rd land. We do have 17 lands in the deck still, because some of our cards do want a lot of lands, like our Celestial Vault, so should have some pretty good odds of hitting this 3rd land by turn 3, since we're on the draw, and our opponent is on the play. Our first draw is going to be the next forest we need to make sure we get a Jewel Thief out on turn 3. I'm going to just play a Riveteer's Decoy here to trade off into that Civil Servant. They either attack in here and we block, or they don't attack and then we attack back. Alright, so we block here. I'll trade Decoy for a 1-mana combat trick if they have that, but it looks like they didn't. Just Celestial Vault is the play. We know how good that card is. We drafted it ourselves. That's going to be pretty frightening. We'll just drop a Jewel Thief, and we're going to try to get as aggressive as we can to kill them before they start slamming down a ton of Mythic Rare Angels. Wow, opponent has a dream curve here. Extraction Specialist to return the Civil Servant, and if we ever kill the Extraction Specialist, then the Civil Servant is just back on the board fully, so that is not ideal at all. Do we backup Agent for a counter onto Jewel Thief so it can keep sending in? Whoa, 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 no. I almost accidentally cast Revelation of Power. Yeah, I think I put a counter on Jewel Thief because it also blocks, so this makes it just a really good attacker or blocker here. Alright, and then do we Civil Servant post-combat or hold on to the treasure token to be closer to Rock's Pummeler and stuff? I think we're wanting to curve out here. Let's get the Civil Servant down. Next turn we can play another backup agent, putting a counter on the Civil Servant. Then we have 2 creatures that attack as 4/4s. We can use Revelation of Power to give a creature flying out of nowhere. That'll be how we're trying to find lethal in the end here. Just trying to really, really quickly defeat our opponent before the Celestial Vault pops off. Alright, so they are drafting their first card to the Celestial Vault. My wrist is in a lot of pain right now for some reason. I gotta get one of those mouse pads that has the wrist rest. Okay, so Obscure Initiate is the play. I would have loved to see another white source so we could play backup agent and still hold up Revelation of Power. The only way they kill 4/4s is with double blocks here anyway, so we probably are just on backup agent anyway. Even though we can't use our combat trick here anymore. They are going to double block the Civil Servant, shut off our lifelink, and save their own Civil Servant. Nope, changing their mind here. They're going to go ahead and take it all, go to 8 life. They do have 2 lifelinkers on the board. Extraction Specialist has it naturally, and the Obscure Initiate, they can spend 2 mana to give it lifelink. Ceremonial Groundbreaker is the play. It's 1 mana to equip that to a citizen. Luckily, Extraction Specialist is not a citizen, but Obscure Initiate is. Hold for ransom on Obscure Initiate seems pretty good here. They're down to just the 3/2 lifelinker. Then we find lethal with Revelation of Power next turn. Is there any way to find lethal this turn? They have 3 power of lifelink? No. Since we're not going to find lethal this turn, hold for ransom seems like the play. Big attack here. They are forced into a chump block, which means now their Civil Servant is active, so they can just move the move their equipment over to Civil Servant to block with that, or attack with it to gain some life, but we're at 28 thanks to our Civil Servant, so we'll just take the hit. But it would gain them 5 life here if they send in Civil Servant, tapping down Obscure Initiate. So it actually might be better than blocking, because Civil Servant actually does not have the lifelink on blocks, so that is worth noting. So maybe they are just going to pop off 5 life gain here, 5 lifelink. We're doing a pretty good job staying on the aggressive. They haven't been able to spend a lot of mana into their Celestial Vault because they've had to just keep dumping all their mana into making more blockers, making their blockers as good as possible here. So there's still only 1 card exiled under the Celestial Vault turn 6. So I think our plan's definitely working out here. Just outrace that vault. They are going to go ahead and get the 5 lifelink hit off. with Civil Servant. They have 4 mana up afterwards. There's that little slot car just drove by, and that thing is so adorable. Alright, Celestial Vault is going to get another Angel into the vault. This is a really cool card flavorfully, because all the angels are locked away in New Capenna. Alright, opponent has picked a card. I love how the gingerbread the gingerbread lady just goes there without the sleeve, just alone. So they're at 12 here with 2 mana up, 4, 8. Can't find lethal. But we can hit hard here and kill them next turn. Probably gonna Warm Welcome first. See what creature we're drawing into. Civil Servant or Jewel Thief. Civil Servant we can throw onto the board here, so it's probably better do that and hold up Revelation of Power for next turn. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Actually, this is 12 if they don't have Make Disappear. They have something in instant speed, but it could just be Obscure Initiate's ability, so we'll make them have it here. Go for Revelation of Power. They don't have the counterspell here that's lethal. Alright, no counterspell. That's going to be 2-0 for us. Thanks to just getting that Citizen token out pre-combat so we could attack with both backup agents and still buff the Civil Servant. Nice. Outraced the Celestial Vault. They got the Angels in hand, but it was too late. Oh my god, I want to keep this hand so badly. We are a 17 land deck here. We're on the draw. If we hit one land, we're going to be casting an Inspiring Overseer, which draws us another card to potentially hit another land, or we're going to be casting Jewel Thief, which gives us a treasure token to get closer to the Herald. I'm going to keep this hand because we're on the draw. Maybe on the play I'd mulligan. I want to say that I'd mulligan on the play, but I'm probably too greedy to mull on the play even. I'm going to keep this. As you've seen from our deck, our curve is like, if we're drawing a non-land card, it's probably a 2-mana card. And if we're drawing a land card, good. So, yeah, I'm going to keep it for those 2 reasons I spelled out very clearly. Ropeline Attendant seems like a busted card. This is a 2-mana 2/2, but now every creature in their hand comes with a 1/1 Citizen. So opponent's board is about to get incredibly wide. Luckily for us, we did draw one of our 2-drops, and it's our 2-mana 2/3 that can block that Ropeline Attendant all day long. Oh no, Inspiring Overseer plus a Citizen token. Seems like a much better version of Exhibition Magician. If I play Jewel Thief here, and I draw a land, then I can cast Herald of Vengeance next turn. But because we have a 2/3 on the board, we'll have a 2/3 and a 3/3, so we're probably only getting hit by the flyer next turn anyway. So it's not like the Herald of Vengeance is going to kill a lot of cards. It's still going to put a massive flyer on the board, so it's still probably worth it. I feel like we just draw the card, though, and try to just naturally hit the land. Another Jewel Thief. Alright, well, if we play enough Jewel Thieves, that's one way to cast our high mana spells. I feel like we really win the long game, so we probably take every trade we can get right now. Even though, like, eventually, yeah, the Inspiring Overseer is going to hit me and I'll pop it with Herald of Vengeance, but that might be like 3 turns from now. We might be taking 6 to 8 damage if we don't just immediately trade with Overseer, if we just keep letting it in. Civil Servant's a big problem, because that'll be attacking as a 3/3 lifelinker. Loosen the Park draws us a card, could draw us a land, but then we're not doing anything else this turn, because even if it does draw us a land, we're just playing a land and nothing else, so gotta put a creature on the board here, I feel. Let's put a Jewel Thief on the board. It's big enough to threaten to trade into their Civil Servants. I don't know if I'll take that trade, because if we hit a land, we'll cast Herald of Vengeance and kill the Civil Servants. But it's big enough that maybe it convinces them not to attack with Civil Servant. I doubt it, though. But yeah, as you can see, Ropeline Attendant has popped off here. These Citizen tokens are very valuable when they've got Civil Servants in their deck. Alright, they are going to jam in the Civil Servant here. Again, like, they have 3 cards in hand, we have 6. Even though I could maybe Herald of Vengeance next turn, I kind of still want to just play on board here and just play to the fact that I can win the long game. Take every trade I get. Skyline Savior. Oh my god, that card is great. 3 mana for a 3/4 flyer. You pick up another creature, and then when you recast, that creature gets +1/+1 flying. So we're going to cast another Jewel Thief here to block things on the ground. We're going to get hit by both their flyers, and then we're going to Herald of Vengeance to kill them both, because we have these treasure tokens. So even if we don't draw land, we'll be casting Herald of Vengeance, blowing up both the flying creatures that hit us. So... oh my god, Ceremonial Groundbreakers. Well, hopefully they throw that on a ground creature, so they hit us with one more creature here. And we get to kill one more card. Nice. Yep, they don't have a blue source. They're not going to counter our Herald of Vengeance. We'll just take 9, go to 13 here, go to 12 here. I'm bad at math, don't ask me about it. It's not quite a Wrath, but they're going to be left behind with just a couple 2/2s and a couple 1/1s. The Groundbreaker's a big deal, though. They're still going to have the Groundbreaker to turn those into decently sized threats. So here's the Herald of Vengeance. Say goodbye to all that. And I totally forgot, this kills everything that has the same name as a permanent that damaged me. So it kills all of the tokens because one of the tokens hit me. Good god, Herald of Vengeance. These alchemy cards are just so good. Alright, we've got our 4th mana now. Can have Civil Servant start attacking as a 4/4 that's not big enough to send into the Ropeline Attendant. Still pretty good. Maybe we're just making our flyer bigger though. We probably are. Just hit a little harder in the sky here. And we can use this crowbar to get rid of their Groundbreaker. Another land for our opponent. Draw a card off of their Botanical Plaza getting sacrificed. Ropeline Attendant's gonna send itself in. Sure, I'm at 12 here. I still gotta protect my life total, so we'll trade our Jewel Thief into that. Now we're gonna blow up the Groundbreaker, so we don't have to worry about the trample. And just keep chump blocking with 1/1s like the backup agent here. So we just attack with Herald, and we can drop a Warm Welcome if we need a citizen token to chump with, or we can drop a Giant Regrowth if we just want to get a creature back. Okay, so they're not going to attack here. Is there anything in our grave that's going to be really good with Giant Regrowth? Yeah, Inspiring Overseer is going to be obnoxious, so we'll Giant Regrowth and Inspiring Overseer. Send in. They should be down to 4. Now we'll play a 5 power flyer. Oh my god. So now even if they kill one of our flyers, they still die to the other one. We'll just draw a card off this Loose in the Park, I guess. Gotta cast our deck's namesake card at some point. It looks like just more land for our opponent. Pretty unfortunate stuff for them, but really big stuff from the Herald of Vengeance there. Absurd card, and the Giant Regrowth popping off with Inspiring Overseer. Now we're 3-0 as we head into round 4. Round 4 now, we've got turn 2 Citizen's Crowbar, turn 3 Inspiring Overseer, start holding up a Quick Draw Dagger. Spicy hand. We'll go for it. We are on the play this time, so we can really pressure our opponent with some beats. Get on the aggressive, get on the beat down here. Raffine's Informant is the first play from our opponent. I'll trade my Citizen into that. Cool. Would I rather start working on a Celestial Vault or just drop an Overseer? I think I'd rather drop an Overseer at this point. I can start working on the Celestial Vault next turn, although Jewel Thief is tempting. Okay, so Scheming Fence doesn't do anything, just a 2 mana 2/3 there. Just hitting in the sky here. I guess we get to use Quick Draw Dagger if they block here. Just attack everybody. Does mean we're not casting anything else this turn, but still feels nice to use our small creature to beat their big one, and now we just make Overseer bigger because a 2/2 is big enough to attack into that 3/2 still. Just get the one annoying blocker out of the way. Celestial Vault just feels really like a backup plan in this hand. Like, if they deal with everything that we have and the board states become stable in some way, then it's like, then we'll just start dropping a bunch of stuff into the vault. But for now, we're just going to keep beating them up. We're definitely on the aggressive. Here's Jewel Thief with the 2 mana up if they have a Make Disappear to pay for that. And here's a Loose in the Park if they have a Make Disappear. Here you go. Go ahead, counter our draw card. Yep. And now our more important spells will not get countered later. Like a combat trick for lethal, which we will have soon. TM. Yep, now we've run out of stuff to do, so now we do start using our Celestial Vault as kind of a draw spell. Just keep drawing a bunch of angels. Definitely no blocks. Herald of Vengeance. Goodbye, Inspiring Overseer and Citizen Token. We know from first-hand experience how absolutely busted that card is. We do have enough equipment on the board to make Jewel Thief big enough to keep attacking, which is nice. So I think I will just do that, and it can still block Raffine's Informant. So we're still winning the race because of our equipment, which is excellent. Although I think I do want to drop Celestial Vault now instead of Civil Servant. They're on blue-white, so unless they play their own Citizen's Crowbar, they're probably not blowing up our Celestial Vaults. So we should be safe to start drafting cards to it. Attack both here. Gonna try to use a combat trick to kill Jewel Thief. Majestic Metamorphosis or something. So I'll just no blocks. Try to find lethal with Revelation of Power. If they play something with 2 or less toughness, we just kill them. That is 2 or less toughness, but it comes with a 1/1. So that's 3 toughness to block Jewel Thief. So they probably double block and survive. So let's see what we're getting off these Celestial Vaults. Look, ooh, Sigardian Savior is actually really good here. It has this Valkyrie Harbinger, but I feel like Sigardian Savior is probably better. Get a flyer down and get 2 of our creatures from grave back to the board. I guess we don't actually have any creatures in grave. We've got Inspiring Overseer and that's it, and that would not come back. So Angel of Vitality or Valkyrie Harbinger? We don't have the mana for Harbinger. Probably Angel of Vitality. Actually, I don't know. This is a weird one. 6 mana, 4/5 flying lifelink blocks Herald of Vengeance all day long. But we're also just dying on the crackback next turn if we don't kill them, so probably need the cheaper one we can cast if need be. Okay, so another Jewel Thief. So we're just sending the Jewel Thief in, seeing if Revelation of Power ends up lethal here, or if they go for the double block. They go for the double block, so Revelation of Power will not be lethal, so we just do the damage we're going to do. Okay, they're going to go for the Majestic Metamorphosis. That's going to put 4, 5, 6 toughness there. So if we want to kill both their creatures, we have to Revelation of Power here. And Revelation of Power wouldn't be... wouldn't be enough to save the Jewel Thief from dying here. So we die to removal? Is there any way we can get through this and not die to removal? I don't think there is. Or just Revelation of Power and then Jewel Thief. That seems like the best play is Revelation of Power into Jewel Thief. But then the question here is, do we use our 1 mana to make our Jewel Thief a 4/4? Or do we use our 1 mana to draft another Angel? I feel like we make Jewel Thief a 4/4. I guess we're not dead on board. If they removal spell us, we go down to 1, not 0. Oh, well. Screw me, I guess. Rough. Rough, but that was some karmic justice there. We get to see what it's like on the other hand of Herald of Vengeance, and it's not particularly fun. Herald of Vengeance is a little busted by limited standards. A lot of these alchemy cards are not particularly fair. Alright, here we go in round 5, 3 and 1 so far. We might be able to do some nasty things with Celestial Vault here. Because we only have backup agent for creatures, I might just drop Celestial Vault turn 2. And yeah, since I have double white mana, I think I'm just gonna... well, I might as well play it turn 3, because turn 3 I can play it and draft a card, so there's no reason to play it first. But I'm definitely just going to start drafting a card on the vault every single turn from now on. I don't like that they have mana for a counterspell here, potentially. So I might hold off. I don't want to get Make Disappeared. Because Celestial Vault is like my game plan right now, so we'll wait till turn 4. Alright, just Shattered Seraph gonna get exiled here. But yeah, I'm thinking... no, does that exile artifacts? Oh my god, I'm ready to snap concede. That is infuriating. That just feels like one of those aspects of Magic where it's like, if I cast Celestial Vault, just the Cosmos is going to put Make Disappear in their hand, and if I don't cast Celestial Vault, the Cosmos is going to put Nimble Larcenist in their hand. Make Disappear is the common, so it's more likely than the Larcenist. I think I played that correctly. It just sucks. Corrupt Court Official, well, goodbye Forest. We'll get to Pummeler eventually. This is awful, though. This game is going terribly. Our opponent's got 2 2-for-1s on us. 2 cards that put a creature on their own board and ripped a card out of my hand here. So we're very behind in terms of cards, as you can tell. Part of that is because they're stuck on mana, but a lot of it is these 2 very good discard spells. getting us here. Mainly Nimble Arsonist, that was just disgusting. If we draw a basic land next turn, then we get that moment of truth where we find out if they had both Make Disappear and Nimble Arsonist. But just draw a quick draw dagger here, so that's not happening. Let's just jam in with everybody. I'm kind of okay with the 1-for-1 trade. Void Ren to destroy our backup agent. So I'm gonna have nothing left on the board after this. Okay, yeah, I'll quick draw dagger then, so I can keep my backup agent then. Echo Inspector coming down. Discards a Grisly Sigil and hits us for 2 in the sky. Menagerie Curator. Well, that's a way to cast a Rock Spummeler. Hold for ransom the Echo Inspector so we can keep attacking in and we don't get hit as hard. And send in our 2/2. Sixth mana from our opponent. 1 mana away from Shattered Seraph and cracking the Hold for Ransom to save Echo Inspector. Psychic Pickpocket. Very good card. Bounce our Curator so that we need to draw land to cast Pummeler. We didn't draw land, so Curator it is. And Citizen's Crowbar. And nobody is big enough to attack in against a 4/3. So yeah, this game looks pretty over. Pretty much have to draw into our busted rare to get there. Yep. This is just the good lineup of discard spells to just keep us out of the game pretty much the whole time. An immense amount of card disadvantage being thrown in our face here. Immensive? I don't know if immensive is a word. If I choose Civil Servant, it definitely pops out on the board right now. But Inspiring Overseer is our biggest way to potentially win if they don't have Corrupt Court Official in hand. Inspiring Overseer doesn't win us the game, but it lets us draw a card, gain a life, and have something on board to trade with Larcenist, which is a much bigger impact than another 2/3 on the ground. We are down to 4 now. Opponent still has 6 mana up, not enough to cast another flyer yet. Or save the Echo Inspector for that matter. So they're going to dig up the body, sacrifice the Echo Inspector to pick up the Corrupt Court Official and something else to make us discard Inspiring Overseer. Seems good. Be a nice time to have it. And we draw a combat trick. We're technically not dead yet. I'll play it out. But we're going to 1 life because Metropolis Angel taps down our only blocker. I guess I could attack at that point since it's going to get tapped down anyway, but then they just go land Shattered Seraph and still have Metropolis Angel for next turn, potentially. So no Metropolis Angel makes me think this is probably land Shattered Seraph. Yep, so holding up the Citizen does stop a damage there, which is pretty important when we're at 2 life. That was a rough one. Things lined up pretty poorly for us. Our opponent had the Stone Cold Nuts with their discard deck. Really unfortunate looking back on it, because it is one of those games where we probably would have won if we just dropped the Celestial Vault turn 2, but it feels awful because like it feels really bad when you lose a game to a definite misplay. It feels way worse when you lose a game to one that's like nebulous, where you're like really unsure. Because I'm like, yes, in hindsight, we absolutely should have dropped our Celestial Vault turn 2 and just been like, yeah, you don't have the Make Disappear. But Make Disappear at common in only 2 colors, or in only 1 color, is a way, way, way more common card to run up against or play around than Nimble Larcenist, which is the only card I can think of that punishes us for holding it in our hand. That is an uncommon 3-colored card. So I think statistically speaking, it's better to play around Make Disappear and try to cast the Vault turn 4 than it is to just drop it turn 2 and not play around Make Disappear, play around something like Nimble Larcenist, because Nimble Larcenist, I think, is literally the only card that gets us if we do that. Right, because like Corrupt Court Officials, stuff like that doesn't get there because we just discard something else. I don't know. That game, that was rough. The whole game, you just can't get it back out of the back of your head when the whole game is going on, that it's like, well, now I just can't do anything, and I'm just getting repeatedly, like, everything else is just getting discarded out of my hand. They're dig up the body to discard the card that I returned from grave. Well, I didn't return from grave, that I pulled off the top of my library. It's like everything was just downhill from there. But had we had a Celestial Vault out, they did not have any artifact removal that we saw, and we played multiple equipments if they did that they could have blown up, so very likely it would have popped off, let us got 3 or 4 big mythic angels to win the game with. So a game that 100% could have gone differently, but I'm 100% uncertain that we played wrong. I'm not 100% certain that I played right, but I'm far from 100% certain that I played wrong. And those are the worst ones, where like even looking back on it, you're like, I have no idea. I genuinely don't know. Statistically speaking, if we're supposed to just be like, just make them have it, quote unquote, just be like, you don't have Make Disappear right now, I'm just going to drop this. I don't know, I've spoken my piece on it. Let's move on to round 6 and hopefully have a better time here. I'm going to drop Celestial Vault turn 2 this game, and it's going to get countered this time. That is my guess. Actually, it can't get countered because we're on the play this time. So they don't have 2 mana up turn 2. Maybe that was the line that I didn't take that I should have. Is maybe I should have just played it turn 2. Even though I can play it and use it turn 3, by playing it turn 2, I play around the counterspell. You know what? I think I found the line. I think I actually found the line that's probably objectively right. The second that I saw that my opponent had blue mana, I should have decided it's better to just play Celestial Vault turn 2, even though we're not immediately using it, than it is to try and play it turn 3 when they can potentially have the counterspell up. I don't remember if they played a blue source turn 1, but I think they did. So I think I probably should have just played the vault turn 2. But as you can see, this vault's insane. Now we're getting Mythic Angels, and if our opponent doesn't have Artifact Enchantment removal, which they very well might, in green, red, white, they could absolutely blow this up. But if they don't have Artifact Enchantment removal, this vault's going to pop off. So we have the mana where we could blitz the decoy and kill the Jewel Thief here, which is a pretty good deal, but I'm just going to play it really safe to absolutely crush them with Celestial Vault here, where I'm just going to hold for Ransom the Jewel Thief instead. This way I get to do something with my turn while still holding up enough mana to put another Angel into the vault and sacrifice the vault. So even if they have Artifact Enchantment removal, we respond by putting another Angel into the vault and drawing both of them. Once you've got at least one Angel in the vault and you have the 1 mana up to pop it, you're safe against Artifact Enchantment removal. Just always hold that 1 mana to pop it off if things go awry. Don't have any 2-mana creatures to pick up a Sigardian Saver, but our deck has a lot. Pick up a Riveteer's Decoy at least. I don't know, I feel like Sigardian Saver seems pretty good. 5 mana now, we get to spend 4 of it while still holding up Celestial Vault. I think I'll just cast a Riveteer's Decoy. This is pretty good when you have a Quick Draw Dagger and a Revelation of Power to back it up. And this way I hold up the mana to put a 3rd Angel into the vault. And have the mana to crack it in response to removal. Arming Gala. That is horrifying. At the beginning of their end step, creatures in play in their hand and in their library and graveyard all get +1/+1. Worth noting, creatures in exile do not, so Rakish Reveler is not going to get any bigger, but this is the more busted version of Broker's Charm, because Broker's Charm was not good enough. Serra Angel's nice. Exile another creature from a grave. +1 choose creature type with the exile card. Yeah, no, Serra Angel. I could pop Celestial Vault right now and just try to outrace the Arming Gala. Probably have to do that because every creature they play is just going to be insane. So I'm going to pop this right now so I can cast a 5-mana Angel when it goes to my turn. Because we've got a lot of those 5-mana Angels. So, kind of like Serra Angel first. Angel Invention's pretty good too. I think I go Serra Angel first and then maybe Angel of Invention next. Buff my whole board for some extra damage. Wow, that's pretty good. Instant speed 1/1 to trade into my Riveteer's Decoy. Well, it gives Sigardian Savior something to get back, at least, I guess. Celebrity Fencer is a 4/3 naturally. I think we just keep playing flyers, and Angel of Invention is perfect here because it's going to give us chump blockers, but we have Herald of Vengeance to blow up Celebrity Fencer if it hits us, so for now we don't actually need chump blockers. So maybe we go Sigardian Savior first? Or we even just go Inspiring Overseer Civil Servant. That honestly seems pretty good too. I think I'll go for that. Ooh, Backup Agent? Yeah, buff our flyers. I guess because of their Gilded Pinions, Celebrity Fencer is actually kind of threatening even just as a blocker. There's Rakish Revelers, which is going to be pretty absurd with the Arming Gala. Okay, they sent it in, so I'm going to take it so we can blow it up with the Herald. Aiming to get there, aiming to get there in the sky here. They're down to 8. I think we can do it. Speakeasy Server? Well, maybe not. That's a 6/6 flyer. Oh, I'm scared. That's a 7/7 flyer? Oh my god. If we hit more mana, maybe we can do it. Revelation of Power here, though. They're at 11. They block there, take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 maximum. But we can gain a ton of life with Revelation of Power. Yeah, with double combat trick, we just slam in. Okay, so Revelation of Power means we're going to gain a ton here. And we need the Quick Draw Dagger to beat the Speakeasy server, so we'll drop that down to hit for 6, gain 8. We're back to 22. They're down to 5. Definitely have lethal in the sky, so they really need to consider using Gilded Pinions to block here. They need 2 flying blockers to survive, though. Or they need a flying blocker and a removal spell. And they've got a main deck Broken Wings. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. I mean, we're on board killing them still, but they definitely are doing like a kill shot or something. So we go Angel Invention as our safest play, I think. It's going to give us 3 blockers. Yep, kill shot it is. So we hit for 3, put them to 2, and we've got our 3 blockers at the ready. And we do it pre-combat because of the buff to power, so that if they do have kill shot, we still put them lower. Incandescent Aria. Well, we've got tokens. Quick Draw Dagger makes hitting them with 1 servo lethal. They're going to make Revelers flying. Pass the turn. Okay. We have a backup agent and a Riveteer's Decoy engraved, so now Sigardian Saver's pretty good. They're at 2 life, so spreading out our creatures with at least 2 power is probably the best. Have as many creatures on board with 2 or more power as possible. So if just a single creature gets through, we kill them. Well, Cabaret Courtyard means we're going to need 2 creatures to get through because they'll be at 3 life. So they block both of our 3 power creatures. We need to get in with a 2 power creature and a 1/1. But they only have 1 card in hand, so if that card isn't something good here, we do have lethal on board. There's the concession from our opponents. They are good enough to find lethal on board. It's possible, I completely forgot about our Loose in the Park. It's possible we missed lethal at some point there, because we always had a potential another 4/4. It would have cost 3 mana, plus we have to use that land to attack with. So anytime we did that, it would be at the cost of not casting anything else that turn. So unless we were like very certain we could kill our opponent by doing that, then I don't think it would be worth it. But it's possible we missed lethal at some point with our Loose in the Park, because I just completely forgot about its existence, if I'm being honest. But yeah, super huge work from the Celestial Vault there, as you can see. And I'm really glad with the Angels I chose. Serra Angel just being the big threat to chip in that damage early on, and then Angel Invention giving us the blockers we needed, and Sigardian Savior spreading out our board wide enough to go wide around their blockers for the final bit of damage. Really good stuff from Celestial Vault. So good, it's going to power its way through the Arming Gala, the better version of Broker's Ascendancy. So great stuff that game. Wild alchemy stuff as we head into round 6, I think. Round 7, actually. 4 wins, 2 losses. Round 7, here we go, but whatever happens, pretty much breaking even here. We're going to be down 100 gems, but we're going to be up everything that we drafted plus 3 more packs. Here we are in round 7. We do really need a white source, but we've got some of the strongest cards in our deck here. We've got Herald of Vengeance, Inspiring Overseer, and Loosen the Park gets to draw us another card to dig a little deeper towards a white source. We do have 10 white sources in the deck, 8 plains and a Botanical Plaza. That's 9, not 10. Yeah, I think we can justify this, even on the play here. My justification is that I'm crossing my fingers really hard, so it's bound to work out that way, right? Oh, Jewel Thief actually does work pretty well here. These are pretty bad picks off the Loosen the Park. There's a lot of 4/4s in the Loosen the Park, so rough to not hit one. Do we take Spore Crawler to trade it off and draw a card later, or do we take Sabertooth Mauler because maybe it becomes bigger? Take a Spore Crawler, I guess. So maybe if we get really, really stuck on our mana here, then we can convert our land into a card draw. Like if we draw nothing but Forest Soul Game, we get to trade our land as a 3/2 into one of their creatures to draw another card. Hopefully get a plains that way. Uh-oh. Menagerie Curator is excellent, though. We have to cast that here and hope they don't have a Strangler, I guess. It does make the most of our mana to just play Jewel Thief this turn, plus we get a treasure token that way, so we can definitely play Inspiring Overseer that way. I'm gonna get greedy with it though and go for Menagerie Curator. Because if they can't kill Menagerie Curator, if they don't immediately have Strangle or Swamp into Murder, and then we get to play Inspiring Overseer and draw 2 cards next turn because we don't have any other Angels or Clerics in the deck. Yeah, so it is going to trigger. We'll draw 2 cards off Inspiring Overseer and really get towards our next white source. So take a hit from Mayhem Patrol here down to 18. Another land for our opponent, and Witty Roastmaster it is. So Menagerie Curator survives. Inspiring Overseer time. Let's draw 2 and see what lands we can hit. There we go, Plains is here. Now we can backup Agent or Celestial Vault. Celestial Vault's pretty slow and we're already going to draw quite a few cards. Probably get a little more aggressive here, drop a backup Agent. Make the Overseer a bit bigger. We have the mana to cast Herald of Vengeance next turn, kill anything that hit us, and draw another card. So that's probably our play. No blocks here, so we blow up the Mayhem Patrol and Witty Roastmaster and draw a card for a nice 3-for-1. Ooh, I love that they've strangled the Overseer here instead of the Curator. Means Herald of Vengeance is going to pop off here, maybe for another just absolutely one-sided victory off of how atrociously powerful that card is. But Menagerie Curator's really popping off this game too. So they can cast a casualty spell here at instant speed in response. Or Fake Your Own Death, that does work. Bring it back to the board. Get their 3/2 back. Send in my 1/1, I'm not going to want to chump block it. Even if they murder my Herald of Vengeance, I'll just take 3 rather than chump block. They do murder the Herald of Vengeance. So we still got plenty of cards to play. So now... do we have any cats or rogues left in the deck? We do have a cat, so that won't draw us a card. I don't think anything in our hand draws us a card anymore. 4 mana. Do we play Voice of the Vermin so we can just trade a shield token into Roastmaster if they attack us again? Honestly seems kind of okay. But we have 5 mana here, maybe we just drop down multiple creatures to be safe. Yeah. We're in another one of those positions where we're very handedly winning the long game. So I should just be playing as many blockers as I can and trading literally anything into their creatures. I can take trades down because I have 5 more cards here. So I have just a ton more cards than my opponent available. So it's okay if I trade like a really good 3 mana card down into their medium 3 mana card, like a Jewel Thief into a Witty Roastmaster, if it comes down to it. And it might come down to it here. Plasma Jockey's going to choose what I trade into their Roastmaster. Oh, they're going to say that my Civil Servant trades in. I'm cool with that. I guess Civil Servant would be lifelink, so they're trying to stop me from getting any life here. Fake Your Own Death. It's pretty big. We're down to 5 life now, and they're getting the Plasma Jockey back. And of course drawing a card from Blitz. So we need to hold a ton of blockers back for that Plasma Jockey. Do we need to start using Celestial Vault now just to get more lifelinkers? So we don't die to a burn spell? I have 6 mana. I'd use 3 of it on Celestial Vault so I can spend 3 on a Jewel Thief and still cast a Celestial Vault. Sure. We'll do that. Start using the vaults. If there's a lifelinker in the vault, we might just pop it, like, point blank, turn 1. Just immediately. It looks like the only way we lose here is if our opponent has, like, a big burn spell or active treason effect. Like, we just need to buff our life total a bit when it comes to how many cards we have versus how many cards our opponent has, or how big our cards are versus how big our opponent's cards are. Like, we're winning that handedly if the game goes long. But, wow, yeah, they're drawing well there. Woody Roastmaster and Body Dropper. Yeah, we need a lifelinker out of this vault. We need it ASAP. Valkyrie Harbinger is a massive lifelinker. Righteous Valkyrie also gains life as angels and clerics enter our battlefield. Enduring Angel makes sure we can't die. Just go back to 3 life. We double our life total every time that attacks. Honestly, all 3 of these are good options. Kind of far off mana-wise from them, though. We need to draw more lands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can play a 5-drop. If we use the treasure token, we can cast the triple white one. We can't get the 6 mana one, though. I guess we can get the 6 mana one. Let's go Enduring Angel. I like the Hexproof as well. Don't know there. Do just Enduring Angel right now? How much of a coward am I? Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of a coward. I'm just gonna do this right now. Actually, I had enough mana to get 1 more angel out of this thing. But it would require tapping my Menagerie thing there if I did that. Okay. Keep sending in our Vigilant Jewel Thieves here because they can still block. Now we can't get targeted by burn spells because of our Enduring Angel. And if we do go to 0, we're going to go back up to 3. I probably should have tapped Curator and gotten 1 more angel out of that deal, so we'd have another lifelinker to cast next turn. Another Roastmaster? Oh no. Oh no, we need to kill our opponent real quick here. Good thing we got a 3/3 flying double strike. That'll close the game in 2 swings. They're gonna have to make some blocks on these Jewel Thieves as well. Do I like Warm Welcome here? That's the only way that we might get 2 creatures down. We can Warm Welcome and Voice of the Vermin, worst case scenario. Yeah, I like Warm Welcome here. Riveteer's Decoy? Force a block here? Or Backup Agent? 8 Flying Double Strike? It's also good. Yeah, we'll do Backup Agent. That means if they let 1 more damage in, they die. So they have to block all these Jewel Thieves with at least 3 toughness. Like 3 toughness apiece, or they get trampled for lethal. Alright, looks like a trample for lethal here. And that will be game. Great stuff from the Celestial Vault. Again. But really, that game was all on Menagerie Curator, if I'm being honest. The Celestial Vault found us the way to really close out the game quickly with a Flying Double Strike, or make it a lot safer. So that if we did manage to go to 0 there, we had a backup plan, but we didn't end up going to 0. We did kill them fast enough. So it's possible we could have won even without the Vault, just off of Menagerie Curator, just getting us more and more plays. Keep buffing the Jewel Thieves, I guess, would be the plan. Play our big Rocks Pummelers and try to just trample in for lethal quickly, instead of fly over for lethal. But yeah, Menagerie Curator was awesome there. That drew us like 4 cards, I'm guessing, at least. So we're now 5-2 as we head into round 8. Really good run. Now we're at a net positive in terms of gems. Okay, so here we are now in round 8. Turn 2 Menagerie Curator is pretty cool. Ramp us into that Rocks Pummeler a bit earlier. Not too much other action in here. Loose in the Park has done pretty much nothing this whole time. I don't think it's a very good card, but it's fun. It's cool. Drawn to a Jewel Thief for turn 3. That'll be awesome. Would I rather curve out, hit them with a 2/2, and then start hitting them with a 3/3, or would I rather save the backup agent to make Jewel Thief a 4/4? Against blue-black here, could have some removal and stuff. This might be wrong. That's probably wrong. I'm gonna go for Curator here. I was thinking about making a 2/2 and a 3/3, because I don't really want to put all my eggs in one basket against a deck that probably has a good amount of removal. But at the same time, 4/4 Vigilance Trample is an incredibly big deal, so they'd have to kill it pretty much immediately for us to not get a lot of value from putting the token on that, or the counter on that. Uh-oh, Gathering Throng. Uh-oh. Only one more at least. Just the 2 Throngs. Okay, now we're on Backup Agent. We could cast a Pummeler here, but I don't want my Jewel Thief to trade into the Throng, and I do want to hit here. So I'm going to just cast more spells this turn. This Backup Agent's really good against the Throng. +2/+2 as long as you control a Garruk Planeswalker. Not possible in Capenna, but cool. Guy's Protector must be blocked. Can't be blocked by more than 1. I don't know. I'm just gonna take the big 4/4 body. If I use this treasure token now, I can't potentially play Rocks Pummeler next turn, so I'm not going to. Alright, Echo Inspector, that's pretty good. That'll be a 3/4 flyer most likely. And that it is. And that makes Fairy Vandal a 2/3 flyer as well. They can kill Jewel Thief with a double block, but Revelation of Power is going to make that not great for our opponent. Because we can kill both their creatures. I guess we can't save Jewel Thief with Revelation of Power unless we drop a backup agent first. I mean, I kind of want to just play a Rocks Pummeler here. And then we're hoping to Revelation of Power on the Rocks Pummeler, so we're actually just going to let Jewel Thief trade into Echo Inspector. Oh, they're just going to take it. Very fine with that. Cool. Now we have a massive threat. And an even bigger threat with Revelation of Power. 8 power flying lifelinker there. Got a lot of mana up though, and there are blue decks. They can, yep, they can do their blue deck things, make us sit on our butt and twiddle our thumbs as they slowly but surely kill us with flyers. Not even slowly at this point, that's 6 damage. Yeah, if they have another Rooftop Nuisance, they just double Rooftop Nuisance us out of the game. But if we get to untap with our big creatures like one time, then we win. But I don't think we will get to. Wow. Another Fairy Vandal. If they drop a Corrupt Court Official on me, I will uninstall Arena. What on earth is that? Exile a creature, its controller seeks a creature? Oh, hey. Oh. Oh. That's a creature to seek. I'm going to do this so they'll have to sack something to make disappear. If they have make disappear, we lose no matter what. Because they just sack a Fairy Vandal or whatever. So I guess we don't need to do that for make disappear reasons. But we do need to do that if we want to cast Revelation of Power to gain some life this turn. So actually, yes. We're going to use this. Oh my god. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, scoop them up. Oh my god. That was the luckiest seek we could have possibly got. So what they did was they played this alchemy card that exiles one of our creatures, and then we seek a creature card. So that's just get a random creature from our library to our hand. And we got the one-sided board wipe because they hit us with all their flyers. I don't think we technically needed that because they only had a 2/2 up, and obviously they didn't have a counter spell. They would have countered Herald of Vengeance, so we could have just attacked all, and then they like block there. They take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and we gain 6. Actually, no. If we just don't tap Curator there, we attack with all these, and yeah, 2 damage is the most they can block. So they take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So yeah, we would have had lethal if they didn't have any tricks there, which it looked like they didn't because they didn't do anything to respond to Herald. So we would have had lethal anyway because of Revelation of Power, but still a super lucky, super cool seek. Jesus Christ. All right, that's 6 and 2 now. So we're going to head into a final boss this time around, win or lose. The final game of Magic for today's draft. I would love to get one 7-win run out of these Alchemies events before they leave, because there's only 4 days of these, I believe. I think they're only running till the 5th. So let's see if we can get one 7-win run in here before we before we say goodbye to the alchemy queues. Here we are now in the final round, final boss. We've got a turn 2 Civic Gardener into turn 3 Celestial Vault with an Exile. Let's go. We're on the play. I'm loving the hand. We'll see how it works for us. When it starts off with a swamp, we've got a giant regrowth for later in the game, getting a creature back from grave. They drop an island here. I don't want a repeat of the make disappear play. Okay, they drop a mountain, so we know there's going to be no make disappear, so we are all good. We can drop our vault right now, attack with Gardener to untap a land, so we have the mana to draft an angel, and immediately sack the vault if they have artifact removal next turn. Forest from our opponents, so they are on Riveteers, and they could very much have artifact removal. Professional Facebreaker's the play. Let's draft the card from our vaults. Angel of Destiny, Guardian Savior, Angel of Vitality. These are all solid. I think I'm just going to go with Guardian Savior again. That just seems pretty good in our deck. So Professional Facebreaker is a really big deal here. There's Citizen's Crowbar. We can play this and equip it to Gardener to have a creature big enough to block and kill Facebreaker, but it has Menace, so we actually just have to hold back. So we just play Crowbar. That seems okay. Play Crowbar, and now we can double block the Facebreaker if they don't have a removal spell. I could equip Gardener, attack with it, and untap it, but then I'm not putting any more angels into the vault, and I think I would like to do that. I'd like to just put more angels in the vault. Midnight Assassin is the play. Alright, so no attacks with Professional Facebreaker this turn then. Alright, get another angel into the vault. Angel of Sanctions is pretty beautiful. It's Oblivion Ring on a stick. It's going to exile something till it dies, and then you can embalm it from your graveyard for 6 mana. You just bring it back from the grave again. Only do that one time, but it's still very good. Okay, we've got the 5 mana now to start casting these angels. I didn't immediately pop the vault because I didn't know if I'd have the 5 to cast our 5-drop angels, but I'll probably pop the vault now. Once we've got 3 angels in it, ready for next turn. Draw a card off our Loose in the Park, see what's up here. Another land, and we'll have this be a big hexproofer. That'll be an Armasaur that I could get 1/1 Saplings out of, potentially. And I think we are passing turn again. Sizzling Soloist. So as they play creatures, they can shut off a blocker each turn. They'll send in the flyer. We can't do anything about that. Take 1. Means Facebreaker is going to get the treasure. They're going to get to draw a card off of that later. Get another card into the vaults. Angel of Invention is incredible. One of the best angels in the whole spellbook. We're going to go to our turn. Get another card in the vault and drop a 5-drop, I think. Although, now we debatably have pretty solid things to do with our mana with Inspiring Overseer. So we can Inspiring Overseer and still set up the vault some more. The longer we wait on the vault, the more cards we're drawing, and every single one of the cards is gonna be a gigantic bomb level angel. So when we ever have other things to do with our mana. Jewel Thief's mildly risky to get on this board here. because we'd only have 1 mana left untapped, so we couldn't safely put another Angel in the vault in their end step unless they're completely tapped out. But we have the treasure token. If they try to Broken Wing Celestial Vault, we respond by sacking the treasure to break it open. And if they tap out a mana, then we can still sack the treasure to put another Angel in the vault in their end step. But if they just go to their end step with all their mana untapped, I am gonna hold the treasure up so they can't get us with instant speed artifact removal like Broken Wings. Woody Roastmaster, that's fine. They only have 2 mana up. Can't think of a 2 mana way to blow up an artifact. So we will probably be okay to put another Angel in the vault in the end step. I guess there's Fatal Grudge, but that's a sorcery, so we'll just wait till the end step. So they're going to hit us with Midnight Assassin, get another treasure token here. That actually will mean they'll have 3 mana up, so they could cast a Broken Wings. Now we risk losing the main deck Broken Wings if we get another Angel currently. Yeah, I mean, we'll play around it. Big Old Rocks Pummeler is one of our biggest plays. Definitely sending in Jewel Thief. Send in a Jewel Thief, drop down a Rocks Pummeler here. Keep setting up that vault. Zeatora the Incinerator is the play. At the beginning of their end step, they sack another creature, deal damage equal to its power to any target, and create 3 tokens. That probably just kills us. We need to grab that Angel that can exile that. And then we need them to not kill that Angel. Wow, yeah, that's going to kill us really fast. Oh my god. Yeah, so much for setting up the vault. It's going to need to get cracked very, very soon. We cannot just sit here anymore. Opponent's deck is very good. Professional Facebreaker Zeatora here. We are in the 6-win queues now, though. These are only going to be the best decks. Security Rocks for 2 mana. Pretty nice. They get 3 treasure tokens off of Zeatora, so Professional Facebreaker is just going to be infinitely going off. Alright, pop a Woody Roastmaster. They're going to kill a Jewel Thief, kill an Overseer, or shoot us. They're going to shoot the Pummeler, get rid of the shield token. Okay, that means no trample on it anymore either, which is rough. Probably worth sending it in since it trades into anything they block with. I like Righteous Valkyrie quite a bit. Gain a bunch of life. If I crack Celestial Vault right now, I'm only getting 4 cards back, but then I have 7 mana during our turn. We need to draw another mana to play our Righteous Valkyrie and then Angel of Sanctions either way. So I don't think we're cracking it right now. get another card off of it and then crack it here. But we definitely are cracking it this turn. Another Righteous Valkyrie? We could double up Righteous Valkyries. That's hilarious, but I don't know if it's worth it. I mean, probably, actually. It's like now we pop it, exile Zeatora, and then we just play double Righteous Valkyrie and then more Angels. Oh, the Pummeler has to attack because of the Soloist. Okay, I wasn't sure what the extra part of this was. So Zeator's gone until they kill Angel of Sanctions. We have to send Rox Pummeler in, and I think that's the only thing we do send in because they have a 5/4 to kill anything else. Trade the Soloist off, so we'll definitely actually get to block with Inspiring Overseer in the future then. Which is nice. Well, we gotta really hope they don't have a sack effect, or this is gonna be awful. Gain control of the Angel of Sanctions here. They've got 5 mana up because of all their treasures from Zeatora. I am highly guessing that they have a sacrifice effect here. Just Angel of Sanctions hitting us, we'll take the 3. They get another treasure. There's the sack effect. Rob the archives it is. And Zeator's back now. Corpse Explosion is exiled, but they can't play that next turn. They can only play it this turn. I guess they could play it here and blow up everything but the 5/4 and 6/6 on their board. They definitely get to play Sticky Fingers. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 mana, so we can spend 3 to return Angel of Sanctions to hand and 5 to recast it, so we get even more opportunities to Angel of Sanctions. The fact that Zeatora triggers End Step is just like impossible for us to beat with Oblivion Ring style removal, because if they just keep killing our Angel, they're going to keep using Zeatora's effect even though we keep killing it. Alright, they're going to Corpse Explosion here. How bad is this going to be? 3 damage to everything? Yep. Kill everything but Security Rocks and Zeatora. It's going to be quite bad. It's going to be quite bad indeed. Hopefully they put Sticky Fingers on Zeatora. They probably won't, because they can see that I can recast Angel from grave. We're going to get Blitz a Riveteer's Provocateur, so they can sack it to Zeatora to do 3 to us and draw a card and get 3 treasures. Seems pretty good. Yeah, their deck's bonkers. They've got Corpse Explosion and Riveteer's Provocateur as well. They were definitely in a draft pod where everyone was trying to do brokers. It happens a lot. Alright, we need them to not have more removal, or we're dead on the spot. They attack us for 5 with Security Rocks, and then Zeatora comes back and they blow it up for 5 more damage. So Riveteer's Overlook, gain a life. If they don't kill us this turn, it's time to start spamming Righteous Valkyries to gain life. Alright, they don't kill us this turn. We need life gain. We need it immediately. Can't think of anything in red, green, black that specifically kills an attacker. If they have removal, it's just going to be murder, kill the angel. There's the concession from our opponent. They just ran out of stuff to do. I really did not think we were going to get there that game. Opponent had some very, very powerful cards and some very tight plays with them with the blitzing for extra value and stuff. But we get there. It's going to be 7-2, all thanks to Celestial Vault. Really showing off the power of the alchemy cards this draft, as you do in these drafts in general. I mean, our Loose in the Park didn't do anything, so RIP to the namesake card of the deck, but Herald of Vengeance was absolutely absurd, and I'm pretty sure it won every game we played it. And then Celestial Vault, if you can get it on the board and get it to last a little while, you are getting plenty big angels to cast in the future, so that was a huge card as well. So pretty solid stuff there, and we got to play with a lot of the new cards, so it felt pretty different from regular New Capenna draft because we were playing a bunch of angels that don't exist in a regular Premier draft of New Capenna. So nice event overall, had a pretty fun time. If you enjoyed that video and you'd like to see more, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to let the YouTube algorithm know to send some more videos to you in your recommended feeds. And as always, thank you all very much for watching. I will see you again soon for some more Magic Arena.